Building an elite natural physique is completely different than just being a mediocre bodybuilder that just goes to the gym and follows their diet, right? There's so many more things in your life that you can optimize. And when you optimize your life, you will bring your best physique out. You will bring your peak natural physique out. It is more than just training, and it is more than just diet. And I did all these things that I'm about to talk about to lose 40 pounds and still build muscle, get stronger during my prep, and reveal stage level conditioning at an elite level for my NPC tested shows. All right, guys, so this is how I went from 230 to 190 pounds, right? If you guys don't want to take your physique to the next level, you can click off this video. If you haven't mastered this basics, this video is not for you. All right, so the basics, if you can't get following a meal plan or tracking your macros down and training hard and training with proper intensity, this video isn't for you. All right, this video is for experienced lifters who want to build their best natural physique. So you can see my start point, 232 pounds, took the bulk way too far, got fat for no reason, was just chasing the scale weight of 230 pounds. If you guys have seen my other videos, you know that you don't want to chase a scale weight when you're bulking, right? It's all about the mirror, and it's all about your training performance. So today, I'm going to walk you through exactly everything I did for digestion, sleep, and supplement-wise to maximize my physique and maximize my results on my cut, on my prep, and going from 232 pounds to 192 pounds, losing 40 pounds, and getting absolutely diced out of my mind for 2 bodybuilding shows that I did this last season. So if you can see here, you can see me hitting my favorite classic pose, horrible posing, not knowing what to do, to 232 pounds, and then my lowest weigh-in was 192 pounds. I'm nice and flat here. This was before the carb up, so this is the smallest but most depleted and most shredded I got. On stage, I was about 195 pounds after carbing up and getting some glycogen back in my muscle stores. So take a look here, diced out of my mind, glute striations, just veins in the side of the leg, absolutely diced, man. And it took a lot of work to get here, but there's a lot of things that I did to, optimize keeping the most amount of muscle possible on a cut, because you can lose muscle, unfortunately, as a natural, especially getting to that elite level of conditioning and getting really, really shredded. So I'm going to go over everything I did here. And honestly, it starts with digestion, guys. If you're not eating whole foods on a prep, if you're keeping protein bars in to hit your macros, all right, that's the first problem. You can see some of my meals here. 99 1-ground turkey, white rice, kimchi, lean sirloin, white rice, kimchi, Greek yogurt, frozen fruit, green beans, lean sirloin. Obviously, the red meat starts to go away as prep gets deeper and deeper and calories get lower, and you start to get more of the 99 1-ground turkey and chicken breast type of meat. But hey, you should always have a little bit of red meat in for the healthy fats and minerals it provides. So first things first with digestion, every morning it starts with my digestion drink right here. It's right here. I like to freeze it and drink it in the morning as a smoothie. It has aloe vera, apple cider vinegar, L-glutamine, and I flavor it with electrolytes. Also has fiber powder. Right on prep and while dieting, digestion is key. Digestion is key for nutrient uptake. It is key for bloating and keeping a super lean aesthetic physique. And it's also key for just training performance, right? If you're not utilizing every single a carbohydrate you consume, you're missing out on the limited amount of carbs you get to eat for your training. So I like to keep my gut as healthy as possible. Aloe vera helps with the gut lining healing. Apple cider vinegar helps balance the pH. L-glutamine is an essential amino acid for many functions that your gut uses and your digestion uses. I flavor it with electrolytes. After we sleep, we wake up every single morning dehydrated. It is so important to get not just water, not just fluids, but also electrolytes first thing in the morning. Think about it. You haven't drank water all night. You are extremely dehydrated. Your pee is yellow every time you wake up in the morning. Fiber powder, because no one gets enough fiber in their meals every single day, and that is one of the keys for digestions, especially as bowel movements slow down as you get deeper and deeper into a cut. And some things I do completely for free to optimize my digestion better is I chew my food slowly. This is the number one tip I give my clients to have better digestion. The more you chew your food, the more you break it down in your mouth, the easier time your digestive system is going to have digesting it. Another thing, mindful eating. Do not scroll while eating. If you scroll while eating, you will not have the same level of satiety, and you will not chew your food as thoroughly, leading to not as good nutrient uptake. All right. So it's about chewing your food, but also about satiety and about mindfulness. Enjoy the meal you just created. Also, go with organic fruits, organic veggies, and organic oats every single time, because these will not have the same pesticides non-organic fruits, veggies, and oats have that really, really destroy your gut. Just try it. If you're still on the processed Quaker oats, notice how they bloat you. Switch to Bob's Red Mill or Farmers We Know organic glyphosate-free oats, or Coach's Oats, which are also glyphosate-free, and I'm telling you, you will notice a difference. I've helped countless and countless and countless of people with that issue, and all of them notice a difference as soon as they switch to a glyphosate-free oat. And I noticed a huge difference when I switched from normal veggies to organic veggies only. The next thing, it's going to be sleep. Guys, of these three, sleep is the most important one. While dieting, sleep is everything when it comes to, muscle growth, muscle repair, being prepared for the next training day, right? Losing fat. Your body is not in a prime state to oxidize fat and lose fat cells if you are not getting good sleep. You also have more cravings and be hungrier if you don't get proper sleep. You guys want to get a high quality night of sleep. I like to get 8 to 9 hours of sleep every single night. Some nights I go above 9 hours. Some nights I'm 9:30. I'm really anywhere from 8 at the minimum to 9 hours and 30 minutes of sleep every single night. And how do I do that? Well, it takes a lot. It takes not only some sleep supplements that we'll get into, but also doing things mentally for yourself. And that includes winding down before bed, no work, no physical activity 60 minutes pre-bed, red light glasses, right? Blue light kills your circadian rhythm, not scrolling in bed. You guys don't want to do anything that is going to you don't want to do anything in your bed that's not sleeping, right? Because then when you get in bed, your brain knows, okay, it's time to go to bed. If you scroll in bed, you're not only getting the dopamine keeping you awake, but you're also telling your brain, okay, my bed is for scrolling, my bed is for staying awake, my bed is for being entertained. And you're not training your brain to shut off and go to bed. A huge thing for HRV, your recovery, and quality of sleep, right? Quality of sleep and quantity are different, right? Quality of sleep, I'm telling you, your sleep will be so much better if you just stop eating your last meal close to bed. When I eat close to bed, my recovery on my wearable device, my Whoop, is so much lower. I feel so much better and so much more well rested when I eat, 2 to 4 hours before bed. And I'm telling you, when you go to bed and your body's not breaking down all this protein, it's not working to digest this food, you sleep so much deeper. I remember when I first noticed it and then I started implementing this, oh my gosh, my scores on my Whoop went from being yellow to green almost nearly every single night, okay? And some supplements pre-bed. These are essential, right? So there is no harm in taking supplements pre-bed. You will not become reliant on them. You will not develop a tolerance with them. If I have to go without them, I sleep just fine still. But these will enhance your quality of sleep. They will allow you to get more deep sleep and more REM sleep. You ideally want to aim between 2 to 3 hours of REM sleep and 2 to 3 hours of deep sleep, and the rest will be light sleep typically. So supplements, pre-bed, in order. I like magnesium glycinate. This is essential for so many functions in the body, but also helps wind you down and get you ready for bed. Ashwagandha, we want lower cortisol at night and higher cortisol in the morning to wake us up, get us ready for the day, have us be energized for our workouts, ready to take on the day and just work. But then you want to wind down at night, and ashwagandha is great for that because it will lower your cortisol directly, and lowering your cortisol has a ton of benefits, from better sleep to higher hormone levels, higher testosterone. GABA. So GABA is going to help turn your brain off and calm you down as well before bed. This is huge for overthinkers like me. When I started taking this, I stopped, just constantly thinking, having that turned on brain feeling in bed, tossing and turning, to actually boom, calm down and wind it down and ready to sleep. Melatonin. Melatonin is not bad for you, although studies have been disproven. In fact, melatonin is actually one of our body's main antioxidants, and it has a ton of other benefits besides helping you sleep better for your body. So it's an antioxidant. 100% recommend it in low doses because if you take it in high doses, it will make you groggy for the next day typically. All right, everybody's different though, and you can definitely build up to higher doses of it. Right now, I just take 5 milligrams every single night, and no, I do not sleep poorly, and no, I do not have trouble falling asleep if I am without it. So melatonin is great. It's an antioxidant for you. Do not let anybody fear monger melatonin for you. Last thing is glycine. It's very similar to GABA, right? It helps shut down my brain. It helps reduce oxidative stress, which helps with recovery while I sleep. But it also really just gives me that, wind down feeling that I get, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. My mind is going all day all day, right? Thinking about what I need to do next. Glycine helps calm me down and get me ready for bed. Last step is after the supplements, right? We want to get the best quality sleep. Our bodies are meant to breathe through our nose. You guys should all have a nose strip, or what I like is a nasal dilator. I was getting a little bit of a red mark because of the nose strips, and it was tearing the skin off every day that when I would take it off every single morning. So I started getting a nasal dilator. You can look them up on Amazon. They go inside your nose and expand your nose from the inside. Mouth tape to ensure you're breathing through your nose. A sleep mask, right? Because light, any type of light can wake you up in the middle of the night. Any type of light is going to hinder your sleep. Sleep masks are essential. If you want the best quality sleep, you're willing to look a little dumb for it, all right? And a cold, dark room, right? Our body core temperature needs to drop in order to get into that deep sleep, and having a cold, dark room will help you fall asleep so much faster. When it is hot in my room, I quite literally cannot sleep. Also, sleep regularity is huge. Keeping close to the same bedtime and wake time every day. Even, obviously, you're not going to be able to control this every day, but if you can do it 90% of the time, you will feel so much better. All right, my sleep schedule currently right now, I go to bed around 9:30 to 10, and I wake up around 6 to 6:30. If I were to go to bed at midnight and wake up at 8 a.m., I do not feel the same. Even though I still get 8 hours of high quality sleep, I feel a bit more groggy because that's not in my sleep regularity window. So sleep regularity, if you can control it, it is just as important as sleep quantity and sleep quantity. All right, guys? So obviously, you can't control your sleep 100% of the time. There's going to be times where you mess up. There's going to be times where you have work where you can't control the fact that you have to wake up early. But if you can nail your sleep 90% of the time, your training performance is going to improve. Your hormones are going to improve. You're going to keep more muscle while dieting super, super hard and achieving that next level of being lean and stage level conditioning. And you're actually going to be able to have good workouts on lower calories when you optimize your sleep. And you're actually going to recover, and you're going to be able to handle more volume. And you know what happens when you can handle more volume? You get more gains, and you can push harder, and you can progressive overload more week after week. Supplement wise, supplements can be very effective. For the people that say supplements are not worth spending your money on, they are not if you don't even have the basics down. But if you have the basics down, it is cope to say that supplements are not worth it. Supplements are very much worth it. Obviously, there are some that are more essential than others, and I'll go over my essentials and my recommendations. I take all of these because for me, trying to optimize everything, it is worth it to me to invest in my health and invest in my physique and invest in my brain. So essential supplements here. It's going to be my mandatories, right? My health subs, right? Magnesium glycinate is one of these because of how essential magnesium is for so many functions in the human body. But my omega-3s, high quality omega-3, not a rancid, cheap fish oil. Right now, I use salmon oil and I have used algae oil in the past. These are high quality omega-3s that are going to help decrease inflammation and help with my overall health and hormones, especially, right? As a natural bodybuilder, getting to stage level conditioning on low calories at a very, very lean and low body fat, your hormones can start to tank. Omega-3s and supplementing, I like to double dose mine actually, supplementing with omega-3s because of how high omega-6s are in our diets, right? We really want to supplement the omega-3s to make sure we have the proper omega-3 to omega-6 ratio. So omega-3s are essential to me. I take a double serving of salmon oil currently right now every single day. L-glutamine is essential because we deplete it while we work out, and it is essential for pretty much our entire digestive system, guys. It'll help with recovery, digestion, nutrient uptake, absolutely everything. Everyone should be on L-glutamine. Creatine, one of the best natural supplements there is, right? Helps increase our body's ATP production, which is our energy system in the first 10 seconds of power, right? So this is quite literally going to aid our strength and aid to our especially heavier sets in the gym. So if you're not on creatine, it also drives intracellular fluid into our muscles, right? So it can help fill our muscles with more water, which we want. Our muscles are made of water and carbs, which is glycogen. Glycogen is water plus carbs. So we want creatine, right? It's going to give you fuller muscles. It's going to give you more hyperhydrated muscles, and it's going to add strength by increasing our ATP production, which is, comes into play with the first 10 seconds of exercise. So the first 10 seconds of our set. So last thing is vitamin D3. If it's the winter, you got to be on vitamin D3. You will feel that winter depression if you are not on vitamin D3. I personally was feeling a bit low this winter. Then I doubled my dose of vitamin D3. Instant fix. Seasonal depression is a real thing. Take your vitamin D3. If it's the summer and you're out in the sun every day, there really is no need. But especially in pretty much any season besides the summer, or even the summer, if you are not outside often, pretty much every day, then you should be taking vitamin D3. I currently take 14,000 IUs. I take 7,000 IU pills. My recommended supplements, these are not needed, but I take every single one of these because they give me a specific benefit. Multivitamin, right? This is to cover the gaps that my diet does not hit. So I have a stacked multivitamin, and that's going to ensure I get all my vitamins and minerals, because obviously as a bodybuilder who eats pretty much the same diet every single day, there are some vitamins I get more than others depending on what vegetables and what fruits I have in play. My gut health stack every morning, that is essential for digestion. And as someone who has struggled with bowel movements on prep, I remember on my prep there was times towards the end your bowel movements really start to slow down because of your really lean state, and your body's not meant to be that lean, but also just the lower calories, your body tries to use every single little bit of it as fuel, and so bowel movements slow down. So the gut health stack was essential for me on my diet to keep bowel movements regular. Intra-workout. If you train hard, if you train a failure, your workouts are an hour or longer, you will benefit from intra-workout. I use cluster dextrin because this absorbs very, very fast in the GI. It does not bother your GI. It is not the same as just drinking sugar from like a full sugar Gatorade or using Gatorade powder. Cluster dextrin digests so much better, and it absorbs into your body so much faster, and this helps with training performance, and I notice a difference. It helps me stay stronger versus workouts where I don't have intra-workout in place. I also add in berberine or a GDA, a glucose disposal agent. If I am in a growing phase, or if I have a high carb day even on the cut, I would utilize berberine on my high carb refeed days on my Fridays, where I would have a high carb refeed day, and this would ensure that my blood sugar stays stable and I'm able to utilize the carbohydrates to the most possible best ability. It keeps me insulin sensitive on these high carb days and helps shuttle the glycogen to my muscles. And really, it's very, very good for keeping your blood sugar stable, and you don't have that spike in insulin and then that crash, especially after a large carbohydrate meal. Like if you're having a big meal with 100 grams of carbs of plus in it. Another thing I take for hormone regulation is Physique agrestis and Tonkat Ali. This specifically, I have noticed in myself, has driven my libido up and has driven my energy up. I literally notice a difference when I'm on it and I'm off of it. These are adaptogens, so you do want to cycle them 8 weeks on, 4 weeks off. And when I'm on these, I notice more energy. And in various studies, they have been proven to upregulate your testosterone in nanograms per deciliter by 100 to 150 nanograms per deciliter. They have been proven to do that in studies, and I feel it myself. And as someone who's trying to build the best natural physique possible, why would I not take these natural adaptogens like Physique agrestis and Tonkat Ali to be the best version of myself? Another thing is Shilajit. Shilajit is, think just kind of like the most stacked multivitamin ever, right? It's very similar to liver. Liver has a ton of vitamins and nutrients. Shilajit is just like that, but it's just stacked with minerals. You're not going to miss out on any of your needed minerals with Shilajit. So that is why I take that, just to make sure all my health markers are in check, right? So there's a lot of things I take that aren't necessarily for bodybuilding or muscle growth. They are per se for health and getting my micronutrients in and my minerals in. But what do those do for bodybuilding? What do those do for my physique, right? They help my recovery better. They help my overall health better. And what does that do? That makes my body a more efficient body, right? And when I'm more efficient, I can recover better. And when I can recover better, I can build more muscle. So all these things stack up. They add up. They add up. They add up. NAD plus is another thing, all right? NAD plus helps your mitochondria function more efficiently. You will experience more mental clarity on these. It's very similar to L-carnitine, right? It just increases the efficiency of your cell, and I love the nootropic benefits. It also helps reduce oxidative stress, right? When I can reduce oxidative stress, I'm going to recover faster, I'm going to get better sleep, and I'm going to be a better bodybuilder and have a better physique. Last thing I like is acetyl L-carnitine for the nootropic benefits. This locks my brain in as a busy entrepreneur who's on my computer, who's working, all day, thinking all the time, having to be cognitively present for check-ins for my athletes, for everybody I coach. Acetyl L-carnitine helps with that a ton. It makes me feel good, kind of similar to that your first time drinking an energy drink. You remember your first time drinking like a high caffeine energy drink, like a Rain or something of that nature, and you kind of get that caffeine buzz, that caffeine high. You're locked in, high energy. Acetyl L-carnitine gives me that. L-carnitine is going to be just like NAD+, where it can help upregulate your mitochondria and your cell efficiency and your thinking efficiency and your cognitive function. But yeah, it also has that great nootropic benefit, and it can also help you burn more calories during cardio because it makes your body more efficient. So that is absolutely all the supplements I take to just leverage the best physique possible, and that's how I lost 40 pounds and got shredded, got stage lean. I built muscle, and I had a great time doing it, right? Obviously, towards the end, it is hard. And as a bodybuilder, you need to have the mental discipline and the mental strength to push through hard times and low energy times in order to reach elite level conditioning. But if you optimize everything in your life, you're going to lose less muscle on the cut. If anything, you can build muscle, you can get stronger, and you can bring your best physique to the stage and have an elite level physique while still having good cognitive function at a very, very, very low body fat. If you guys don't know where to start when it comes to natural bodybuilding, if you guys want to build the best natural physique, go ahead and DM me, Let's Work on Instagram, and I can answer any questions you have. Or if you'd like to book a coaching consultation call with me, go ahead and click the link down below right in the description, and you can pick any time that works for you, and we can talk one-on-one about your goals and exactly the systems I would implement for you to build your best physique possible and get shredded optimally, build muscle, and be the peak natty version of yourself.